We're witnessing communities coming together to stand up multiple ways to deliver this vaccine.
A celebratory update from Governor Inslee, but we're hearing a very different story about the vaccine rollout from people struggling to get access.
Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, what to expect on your morning commute.
And that snow continues to come down early this morning. A look at your Wednesday forecast and how long it's expected to last. It's all coming up.
From Camp KVUE Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning, Northwest, and happy Wednesday. Everybody made it to the middle of the week, and today is the day, Kristen, you've been telling about us, that snow has arrived.
It has. You know, I just can't ever seem to get this right. I had to jump back over it. But let's get you to that forecast this morning. Now, we have the snow that is coming down around the downtown Yakima area early this morning. You can see that wintry scene out the door. So regardless of where you live this morning, give yourself plenty of extra time as we will see the snowy scene across the majority of our area. So there's Skywatch radar along 82 especially. The snow is coming down. Some pockets of heavy snow around Grandview and Sunnyside this morning. Wintry mix currently for the Tri-Cities and even for the foothills of the Blues. And that's where we find some warmer temperatures this morning. So currently at 43 in Walla Walla, 33 in the Tri-Cities, and then right around freezing for Yakima and Toppenish. Now we will see those improvements for today as we get you over to your Wednesday forecast. A little bit of some sun, warmer temperatures, even a few rain showers popping up this afternoon with that high temperature of 47 degrees. So coming up, we're going to have some pretty mild numbers expected here in this 7-day, even more wet weather as well. Your full forecast, it's all coming up.
Thank you, Kristen. And with that winter weather we're expecting this morning, there may be some traffic delays. We're sending it out now to Neil Fisher, who's out on the roads today, keeping an eye on things. Neil, how's it looking?
Good morning, Monica. It looks not that bad right now. Wet roads throughout the Tri-Cities area. The Washington Department of Transportation camera on the Blue Bridge showed that the bridge was wet. Other than that, in the Tri-Cities, we saw a snow-rain mix early this morning around 1 o'clock. There was heavy flurries in the Richland area. But as we move out west, it gets worse. The snow is coming down in Union Gap. The Washington Department of Transportation camera out in Union Gap shows that there is snow on Interstate 82 and that it looks like plows have not gotten to it yet. But right here in the Tri-Cities, your commute, the roads should be wet throughout the area. And as we go through this morning, we're going to be traveling out west for you, possibly in Benton City, Prosser, to see what's happening out there. Back to you, Monica.
Thank you, Neil. Well, there were more long lines on day 2 at the mass vaccination site at the Benton County Fairgrounds. 900 people got their shots yesterday, almost twice as many as they administered on Monday. Now, this is one of 4 sites opening across the state this week. On Monday, local officials said you couldn't make an appointment and that it was first come, first served, but they have since reversed that, saying the state is requiring everyone who's eligible to make an appointment before showing up for the vaccine. Well, one 69-year-old Richland resident says she's been trying to get her vaccine for the past week. Susan Osmondson says she's got up at 4 a.m. yesterday and was the 16th car in line at the Benton County Fairgrounds, where she waited for hours in the cold before getting turned away because she didn't know she needed an appointment, even though she's eligible. Osmondson says she did get a slot for today, but she's worried that other people her age are struggling to do the same.
It's very sad. We've lost so many people. And I don't want to be one of them. So I'll do whatever I have to.
Now, if you or your loved ones don't have internet access, you can call the COVID-19 Vaccine Assistance Hotline to make an appointment. That number is 1-800-525-0127 right there on your screen. Then just press the pound sign for help. Now, despite the struggle many are facing to sign up, Governor Inslee is optimistic about the state's progress in getting people vaccinated.
As of January 19th, we did 16,146 doses. This past Saturday, we did 36,478. And Sunday, big day, we did 39,063, just short of our 40,000 number. And as you know, it is our goal to build up capacity so we can do 45,000 vaccinations a day.
Last week, the governor announced his plan to open those 4 mass vaccination clinics across the state, including the one here in the Tri-Cities. He says all of those will be operational by the end of this week. Of course, we know the one at the Benton County Fairgrounds in Kennewick has been open since Monday. In Seattle, the son of the polio vaccine creator has received the COVID-19 vaccine and is encouraging others to do the same. Dr. Daryl Salk is the son of Dr. Jonas Salk. His father is the American medical researcher who developed one of the first successful polio vaccines in the 1950s. He says he usually shies away from using his family name for notoriety, but he felt compelled to speak out in support of the COVID-19 vaccine.
The risk of getting COVID-19 infection is 20 to 40 times greater than the risk of having a severe allergic reaction.
Salk says he's confident in the process the U.S. took for the government to authorize emergency use for COVID-19 vaccines. At 5:06, let's take a quick break here on Good Morning Northwest. But first, let's check on how it's looking outside.
And we still have snow coming down around portions of our area this morning. Winter weather advisories in place. More details on that full forecast and how long this winter weather will last. It's coming up.
Plus, a newly proposed bill in the state legislature could mean you won't be able to open carry at the state capitol or near protests. Welcome back. A Washington Senate committee heard public testimony on a measure that could ban the open carry of guns on the Capitol grounds. It would also ban them at or near any public demonstration across the state. People would be prohibited from carrying weapons either on their person or in their car while being within 1,000 feet of a demonstration. And as mentioned, it would also prohibit openly carried weapons in the state capitol. Violation of the proposed law would be a gross misdemeanor. And this brings us to our megaphone poll question of the day. Do you think open carry should be banned at the state capitol? You can go right now to yaktrinews.com/vote to weigh in, and we'll share those results towards the end of the show. Well, despite the decrease in air travel due to the pandemic, TSA agents are confiscating guns from passengers at a record rate. More than 3,200 guns were confiscated at U.S. airports last year, and 83% of them were loaded. Hartsfield, Jackson International, and Atlanta had the most firearms discovered of any airport, with 220. Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport came in second with 176. The agency says it found about 10 firearms per million passengers screened last year, compared with about 5 firearms per million passengers screened in 2019. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we're talking about a new proposal to raise the federal minimum wage and why the new Secretary of the Treasury says she supports it. Welcome back, everyone. We're continuing to track a wildfire prevention bill making its way through the Washington State Legislature. The Commissioner of Public Lands said we're already spending tens of millions of dollars every year on fighting fires, which could be better spent on preventing fires in the first place.
The reality is every single fire season, I look back to the year before and know that it could be even worse. And my job is to be able to look our firefighters in the eye and say, you know, every single year you have our back with limited resources, putting your lives on the line. It's time for us to have your back.
Commissioner Hillary Franz tells us she's also hoping to use that extra funding to improve diversity at the Department of Natural Resources. The bill will go to the Appropriations Committee this Friday to discuss funding. Washington lawmakers are leading the push for a higher minimum wage nationwide. The state's minimum wage is $13.69 per hour, which is almost twice the federal minimum wage. The House Committee of Education and Labor yesterday introduced the Raise the Wage Act, which aims to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour by 2025.
This pandemic should be a wake-up call that these workers who are called our heroes deserve more than $7.25 an hour. Democrats are asking for $15 an hour because no one working a 40-hour week should be making $15,000 a year.
The proposal would also phase out certain exemptions so that even people who make some of their money from tips would still qualify for the minimum wage. The minimum wage has stayed the same for more than a decade, and opponents are worried that doubling it in the next few years could backfire and cost millions of people their jobs. But President Biden's new Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, doesn't agree. She told Senate lawmakers last week that even at the state level, researchers have found that raising the minimum wage doesn't cause significant job loss.
Now, KapKVU First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Kristen Walls.
And waking up on this Wednesday morning, this is the snowy scene that we have right now around downtown Yakima. Some of the latest reports, closer to 3 inches of snowfall so far in the Yakima area. And that snow continues to pile up. I think an additional inch or 2 is expected for parts of the Yakima Valley until the system is out of here. Now, there's winter weather advisory. That will continue until 1 o'clock today, although I think the majority of the accumulating snowfall will be winding down by about 8 or 9 o'clock this morning. So let's get you over to Skywatch radar. We have a wintry mix currently in the Tri-Cities this morning into the foothills where some warmer temperatures are situated. But we have the snow that is coming down again along 82 here back over into Sunnyside and Yakima where that snow continues to pile up. But Tri-Cities early this morning, Kennewick and Richland, just looking at a few light rain showers this morning. There were a few snow showers mixing in at times, especially as the system started to move in. So there's a little bit of some light accumulation on the grassy surfaces. Roadways seem to be just fine early this morning, but you can see along 82 here from Grandview and Sunnyside, just a few light snow showers. Wapato, Yakima, similar story for you. But we will, as I mentioned, see those improvements as we take you throughout later on. So there's that low pressure system impacting the Pacific Northwest. It continues to move in from the south this morning. There's some travel delays, especially if you're traveling over some of our mountain passes. Traction tires advised right now for Snoqualmie Pass. Even for Manastash this morning as that snow is coming down, they actually have traction tires required as well this morning. So certainly some slick conditions through some of the parts of the Cascades. So there's Futurecast. As you can see, those improvements expected as the sun comes up this morning, 8, 9 o'clock, a little bit of some sunshine out there. Taking you throughout your afternoon by 3 o'clock. The majority of the area is still dry, but notice a few showers. We'll get this weak push of moisture back into the area by later on this afternoon. Rain showers into the Tri-Cities. Wintry mix through the eastern slopes of the Cascades. We're expecting temperatures today actually into the 40s. So some warmer numbers starting to move in. We'll have a dry start early on Thursday morning, and then a few more rain showers start to move in here for your Thursday afternoon. There's a look at 5 o'clock. So just have the umbrella nearby. But overall, the trend here in the 7-day forecast, warmer temperatures, and it will be a bit unsettled as well, and I'll show you that here coming up. But temperatures out the door this morning, 33 in the Tri-Cities, 43 though in Walla Walla. So this is where we just have some chilly rain showers this morning. 34 for Prosser, and then right around that freezing mark. This is where that snow again is starting or continuing to stack up, where we have still those numbers right around that freezing mark. And the visibilities are down, of course, through the eastern slopes and around the Yakima and the Kittitas Valley with some of that snow. So temperatures throughout this afternoon, we're going to see numbers in the upper 30s for Yakima and Toppenish. 47 degrees though today in the Tri-Cities, with 47 in Hermiston. 42 degrees in Prosser, and even in the upper 40s for Walla Walla and Pendleton. And it is going to be a dry night tonight, pretty quiet, upper 20s and low 30s. As we get you over to your 7-day forecast, we're going to see the trend for these temperatures actually going up even this weekend. Dry start there on Saturday at 49, 51 on Sunday. We'll have some more rain showers starting to move in Sunday into Monday of next week. Monday, though, we're going to continue to have those numbers at 51. And your 7-day forecast for Yakima, you can also see a few of those rain showers sneaking into your area by tomorrow afternoon, but drier Friday into Saturday. We're expecting those numbers over the weekend in the low 40s.
Thank you, Kristen. At 5:20, we're going to take a quick break here in Good Morning Northwest, but coming up, an import alert. Why the U.S. is taking extra steps to make sure sanitizer coming into the country is safe. Welcome back. The FDA is taking a careful look at alcohol-based hand sanitizers coming from Mexico. The federal agency has placed these products on a countrywide import alert. They say some of the products have been labeled as containing ethanol, but they tested positive for methanol. Officials note that methanol is not an acceptable ingredient in hand sanitizer in the U.S. According to the FDA, the substance, also known as wood alcohol, can be toxic if it's absorbed through the skin. It can also be life-threatening if ingested. The agency says sanitizers from Mexico will remain on the import alert list until they review the product's safety. Walmart has a new strategy to speed up delivery and curbside pickup orders. The retailer announced that it plans to build automated mini warehouses in dozens of its stores. There'll be 20,000 to 30,000 square foot fulfillment centers either in the back room of the stores or next to them. Robots will actually gather thousands of items instead of employees. Then employees will assemble the orders. Since the pandemic started, Walmart has seen a surge in online sales. The company says these centers will allow them to handle more orders at a faster pace. And check this out at 524. Martha Stewart wants to help your dog relax. She and cannabis company Canopy Growth have introduced a line of CBD dog treats. The collection comes in soft-baked chews and oil drops in 3 different formulas: wellness, calm, and mobility. They have various flavors, including chicken and cranberry. The chews range from $20 to $25, and the oils sell for $40. Stewart announced her partnership with the company in September. All the treats are available on Canopy Growth's website.
Interesting.
You know, these puppies, these dogs that we have nowadays are so spoiled.
No,
We'll go out of our way for them.
They certainly are. I think you could use these treats obviously for certain situations, you know, when dogs might be afraid of fireworks or, you know, there's some things that this might actually help to calm them down just a little bit.
That is a good point. All right, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, President Biden announcing he's upping the country's vaccine supply to try and make sure most Americans are vaccinated by the end of this summer. Plus, Yakima health officials announcing their own plans to open a mass vaccination site without direct support from the state.
And snow continues to come down early this morning. Not bad from this view, looking at just some wet roads around the Tri-Cities, but the snow piling up for the Yakima Valley. More details on how long the winter weather will last, it's coming up.
Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, what to expect on your morning commute.
And we're still seeing that snow coming down across portions of our area. A look at that Wednesday forecast. It's all coming up.
From Camp KVUE Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning, Northwest, and thanks for joining us on this wintry Wednesday. Kristen has been tracking that snow for us. Neil is out there on the roads, keeping an eye on conditions. Over here, as far as schools go, we've gotten in several updates from school districts, most of them being in the Yakima area. East Valley School District, Highland School District, Naches, West Valley School District, all of these, they're going to be just doing remote learning today. They're closing for today. So all those updates are at yaktrinews.com. But for now, Kristen, what can you tell us about what's going on right now?
Yeah, we still have the snow around the Yakima Valley this morning, and that's where you can see the snow-covered roads early this morning, so extra time needed there. Getting reports of over 3 inches already as that snow continues to pile up. I think next couple of hours we'll slowly see those improvements. So Skywatch radar this morning, while they're seeing snow in the Yakima Valley around the Tri-Cities this morning, changing over to rain showers as some warmer temperatures start to move in. So we had a little bit of some snow in the Tri-Cities, now looking at just some chilly rain showers and even drying out further south around Hermiston and Pendleton. So a lot of this wet weather will be winding down as we take you throughout the next couple of hours. So 34 currently Tri-Cities, still at 32 in Yakima, and jumping up to about 43 there in Walla Walla. You can even see a little bit of some sun peeking out for today. Can even have a few rain showers sneaking in here this afternoon with that high of 47. But looking ahead into your weekend, we could be looking at more wet weather ahead. Your full forecast, it's all coming up.
Thank you so much, Kristen. Well, with a lot of that winter weather expected this morning, there could be some traffic issues out there. We're going to send it over to our Neil Fisher, who's been on the roads this morning, keeping an eye on things. Neil, how's it looking right now?
Good morning, Monica. Right now we are in Sunnyside, and as you can see, there's light snowfall. It's the first time this morning that we've seen this snowfall really come down. We were in Prosser about 30 minutes ago, and the light rainfall was coming down in Prosser. In the Tri-Cities, we didn't see much. The roads were wet. We had that snowfall come down around 1 o'clock into 2 o'clock, but after that, it stopped. The roads are wet. Everywhere you go in the Tri-Cities and out here in the Prosser, Sunnyside area, the roads are wet, so be cautious of that when you're driving to work or driving to school. Now, if you're on the roads and you see a plow or a salt truck, they've been out there all morning trying to clear the roads off. Most of the way the roads are clear, but steer away from those plows and snow trucks. I talked to law enforcement officials last week, and they told me that one of the most hazardous places on the roads is intersections. when you're coming up on an intersection, make sure you slow down so you do not go into the back of somebody or go right through that intersection on these wet roads. We'll be traveling out west farther on Interstate 82 as the morning goes on and keep you updated as that snow falls in the Yakima Union Gap area. Back to you, Monica.
Thank you, Neil. We'll be checking in with him throughout the 9 o'clock hour. Well, Washington State Patrol responded to a fatal head-on crash on SR 12 in Walla Walla County yesterday. According to troopers, one of the two cars involved crossed the center line and collided with the other vehicle. 68-year-old Jay Clark of Chelan County was pronounced dead at the scene. A 69-year-old woman was taken to Providence St. Mary's Medical Center in Walla Walla by Life Flight. We have new information about the man who set a Seattle police precinct on fire during all the chaos there this summer. A 20-year-old Alaska man pleaded guilty to federal arson charges. He's the one who piled up trash and set it on fire at Seattle Police's Capitol Hill neighborhood building while others tried to block the doors to seal officers inside. Everyone did manage to get out safely. Yakima County isn't waiting for the state to set up a mass vaccination site. Health officials announced they're setting up their own drive-through vaccine clinic at the county fairgrounds with the goal of vaccinating 500 people a day. They say the only problem is, so far, the state hasn't committed to sending them the doses they need.
The purpose of doing this ahead of time is to send a very clear message that we are prepared in Yakima County to do mass vaccinations. So the state has chosen to send these vaccines to other areas. We don't want to be overlooked.
Again, the mass vaccination clinic at the fairgrounds isn't open yet. Officials say they still need about a week's worth of vaccine doses, enough to vaccinate 500 people a day before they can open up. President Biden is working to reach the goal he set to vaccinate 1.5 million Americans per day against COVID, but that's going to take time. So for now, he's concentrating on meeting his initial promise of 100 million vaccinations during his first 100 days. The biggest question is still around timing. Biden says he has a plan to roll out vaccines faster.
I'm pleased to announce the first progress in that work today and on day 7 of my presidency. First, after review of the current vaccine supply and manufacturing plans, I can announce that we will increase overall weekly vaccination distributions to states, tribes, and territories from 8.6 million doses to a minimum of 10 million doses. Starting next week, that's an increase of 1.4 million doses per week.
Now, Biden says it will probably take about 3 weeks to surpass 1 million vaccinations per day. He's sticking to his prediction that anyone who wants a vaccine will be able to get it by spring. To help get there, Biden pledged to purchase 100 million more doses from Pfizer and 100 million more from Moderna. After taking a break for Halloween and Christmas, seasonal themed Peeps are coming back for Easter. The maker of the marshmallow treats Just Born had temporarily suspended production of its candy brands to protect its plant workers from coronavirus. But after implementing safety measures, they resumed production in May, but didn't produce seasonal candy, so it couldn't meet demand for Easter. Now, there have been reports that specialty Peeps have been spotted in physical and online stores. They include hot tamales and party cake Peeps. What? The Peeps online store currently offers marshmallow bunny Peeps in several colors.
I've never been the one to really get on board with Peeps.
I used to like them, but then I found out they have gelatin, so I don't really eat those anymore. But I know some people just are crazy about them.
I know, there's some people that just love them. But yeah, just all the Easter candy, the jelly beans, and I love the Hershey chocolate eggs. Those are my absolute favorite.
I can't believe we're talking about Easter already. All right, let's take a quick break here in Good Morning Northwest. But first, that live look outside.
And as we're giving you a live look from Richland and the Tri-Cities area, seeing that transition over to some chilly rain showers. Snow, though, continues to come down for parts of our area. A look at how long this unsettled weather will last. It's coming up.
Plus, why members of Yakima Nation slapped a lawsuit against 2 wine companies. Welcome back. Well, two Zilla winemakers and a wine labeling company have agreed to stop using names from the Yakama Nation's traditional language after a lawsuit. The Yakama Nation General Counsel filed the lawsuit January 21st in U.S. District Court. The tribe filed a motion Monday after the defendants agreed to stop using the names. Express Liquor and Wine is accused of selling wine with those labels, and St. Hilaire Cellars is accused of making the labels. Ted Wheeler, the mayor of Portland, sprayed a man with pepper spray after he says he was harassed for not wearing a mask. On Sunday, Mayor Wheeler says he was approached by a man who was reportedly filming him while accusing the mayor of flouting health requirements. Wheeler says he feared for his safety and pepper sprayed the man after being followed to his car. Police identified the man as Kerry Kadaunau as the man who was pepper sprayed. When asked about the incident at a press conference, Mayor Wheeler only confirmed there was an incident and he filed for a police report. When we come back on Good Morning Northwest, Kristen Walls will have your full local weather forecast. We'll be right back.
Now, KapKVU First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Kristen Walls.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Parts of the Yakima Valley waking up to a winter wonderland and some snow-covered roads there. As we're giving you a closer look right now, getting reports of over 3 inches. Of course, some of the light snow continues to fall early this morning. Extra time needed around the Yakima and the Kittitas Valley where that winter weather advisory continues. That goes until 1 o'clock today everywhere that you see here in purple, but I think this will be allowed. They'll probably cancel this a little bit sooner. The majority of the snowfall will be heading up to our north by 10 o'clock for this morning. So we're going to see some slow improvements throughout the day today. We have that changeover. So we had some snow falling in the portions of the Tri-Cities right around midnight, 1 o'clock. Now seeing some rain showers moving through, drying things out around Hermiston and Pendleton this morning, even for Walla Walla. So again, all this is heading up to our north. But as we give you a closer look here around the Tri-Cities, now just seeing some chilly rain. So Richland and Kennewick, temperatures are right around 34 degrees. But notice as you head along 82, just a little bit of some light snow left over. So even seeing those improvements along 82 this morning. Yakima, maybe a few snow flurries left over, but you're now on the back side of the system. So we will see some drying. Things are going to start to dry out. We will have even a little bit of some sunshine returning for today as well. So there goes that system up towards Spokane. If you're heading up in that direction today, just plan on a lot of snowfall that will continue, especially for the first half of the day today. We even have chains which are required for Monastash. You really don't see this too often, but the snow is coming down pretty heavy at times there. Snoqualmie Pass, traction tires advised, and then snow for White Pass as well, where we have traction tires required. So notice here with Futurecast, throughout your morning, we will see that clearing, some sunshine back across the area, and that will continue at least through early afternoon, but we will get another surge of some energy, maybe a few showers by about 5 or 6 o'clock for tonight. Wintry mix for the eastern slopes of the Cascades. Now early tomorrow morning, we're off to a dry start, just partly sunny, but we could have a few more showers sneaking in here for the second half of the day. Notice here by 5 o'clock, some of those rain showers moving in from the south once again, Tri-Cities into the foothills, and then we'll have a few showers left over early Friday morning at 6 a.m. From Walla Walla and Pendleton. So for the foothills on Friday, we'll have a little bit of a soggy start for you. Temperatures, though, speaking of the foothills, we're at 43 already in Walla Walla, 40 in Pendleton, a few degrees above freezing in the Tri-Cities, and then, of course, some of those snow-covered roads and some icy conditions from Yakima to Ellensburg, right around that freezing mark. 24, though, early this morning for Cle Elum. So as we give you a look at that forecast, going to be a chilly afternoon still for Toppenish and Yakima in the upper 30s, mid-30s in Ellensburg, but jumping up to 47 today in the Tri-Cities, 42 in Prosser, 43 degrees in Connell, 47 today in Pendleton, and then Walla Walla this afternoon at 48. Now overnight tonight, it is going to be a pretty quiet night, few clouds around, just a cold night, upper 20s and low 30s. So there's your 7-day forecast. We'll have a few showers in here once again Thursday afternoon, but starting to warm things up even more. 49 on Saturday. We'll have rain showers on and off Sunday into Monday, but we'll be in the low 50s as we start off next week. And then your 7-day forecast for Yakima. We should be drying things out Friday into Saturday. Saturday up to 41. Chilly rain showers moving in Sunday with that high of 43.
Thank you so much, Kristen. The Senate confirmed Antony Blinken as the new U.S. Secretary of State yesterday. The new leader of U.S. diplomacy is a longtime aide of Biden and will direct the administration's efforts to forge an entirely new foreign policy. Blinken has indicated that he'll be making a turn from the Trump administration's America First direction. The Biden administration wants to return to an approach that focuses on building alliances. Blinken says he wants to build a diplomatic team that represents America in all its talent and diversity. Coming up, a judge has denied a request from Lori Laughlin's husband to be released from prison early. ABC's Kaylee Hardung has the details in today's GMA First Look.
Now, the morning sprint.
With some snow coming down this morning, there could be some issues on the roads. We're sending it out to Neil Fisher. He's on the roads this morning. Neil, how's it looking?
Monica, we're in Sunnyside still. As we talked about 15 minutes ago, that light snowfall has really turned into more of a heavy snowfall in Sunnyside. We saw that rain-snow mix in Prosser with the slush on the roads, and we saw those wet roads in the Tri-Cities. But here in Sunnyside, we're seeing the snow come down. More cars are continuing to come out as it gets later in this morning going to work. Be sure to travel safe and carefully. If you see salt trucks on the road or a plow, be sure to use caution when driving next to them. Back to you, Monica.